Yo, Tova!
Torwald! Hello!
Amazing to see you here.
Likewise.
At the very first bitbird Talks. What are we doing here?
Well, Tor, it's so great that you asked because we've been thinking about it for a long time.
Long time.
Long ass time. And we decided to finally start our own podcast.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Super awkward.
Super awkward, of
This
course.
first one, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe the ones after this as well, but we're just having fun.
Yeah, just remember yourself doing something for the first time and don't judge us.
Yeah, please, thank you. We're just gonna discuss a couple things today. We asked you some questions. We got some things on our mind. We have a very special guest. Let's just hop into it, I guess.
Yeah, let's just go straight into the talks. So thank you everyone for those who decided to share their beautiful, well-thought questions. And I think first we wanted to really talk about certain bitbird things. You know, there's not everything that's really related to our guests that we're going to be having here today. So the one thing that our fans are really curious about, how are we still able to keep the balance between business and creativity part of our releases? And that's really, really complicated, right, Tor?
Maybe that's a good question to go back to the start.
Oh yeah, history.
A little bitbird history lesson. I was hanging out with my good friend Sander, aka San Holo, and he had been making beautiful music, and he was shopping it around, trying to see if labels would be interested in the music that he made, and they weren't.
Yeah,
they weren't. That was immediately the point that kickstarted what we have been doing, right? Kickstarted bitbird actually, because we wanted to just create our own platform to do whatever we like on it. As it started growing, obviously it started becoming a company as well.
Yeah.
And you really have to balance out some sort of things that you didn't have to at start.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, it is very hard, especially at the start. Like, how do you want to grow? Where are the boundaries? You know.
Yeah.
I think with bitbird we balance it quite well. We understand that sometimes we need to do some commercial things, which is also fine.
I mean, we're not really do like full-on commercial, like majors, for example, do.
Right, of course. We are. Yeah, of course. We're still a little bit in the niche, you know.
Yeah, we are quite boutique in this sense.
Yeah, definitely, and I like it there. But still, in that front, we have some more commercial things that we do, where we have to keep in mind a bit of company structures.
For sure. Like
make sure everyone gets their salary.
Gets their bread and butter.
That doesn't take out that we love to do creative music, experimental music. And that's why the balance for us is so important, so we can keep on doing those things.
Exactly.
And offer a platform for artist vision, whatever that might be, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like so many smaller artists we really try to give the platform to, and some of them, of course, we managed to even put them on the higher level at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So like besides just rooting for the art, we also are able to facilitate further growth of the artist, which is also so nice to see that your work pays off.
Yeah.
And you know, for the people like who are on the back end, you know, most of the times you would consider with the label of like the artist, but of course we also hear people behind the scenes rooting for everything to make it work out, and it's so glad to see that all this cohesion is there.
Beautiful. That's absolutely a great point. To see an artist be able even just to pay their rent, you know, from their music. That is like such a milestone. That is,
I know.
I love it.
I know.
I love to see it.
So you know, guys, I'm doing some royalty accounting, and every month I'm having a small tear in my eye if I see that more artists actually getting around average monthly salary age in their royalties, so they can actually live from the art, and this is so exciting to see that more and more people are able to do that.
Kind of like that you start about that, because this is something we take pride in as well, that we have monthly royalty payments to artists.
Oh yeah, like it's such a rare occasions, and even big indie labels don't really do that.
Imagine getting paid once every half year.
Dude,
That will be like how how are you going to survive? You know, how are
Yeah.
you gonna gap that bridge,
Exactly, and especially like I know there
bridge
is
that gap,
bridge that gap, gap that bridge, gap that bridge as well. Sometimes
bridge.
can be a bit of a boast. I know that some artists who once had like a big hit and they really have this like biannually money inflows coming in. It's then so hard to like plan your life out because of this.
Exactly.
Like you have this huge chunk of money coming in twice a year, and then you like, I mean, you first see a lot of money, but almost at the end of this period, you're like almost with nothing. So it's
Can imagine you really, and that's you really need to plan in that case. You have to plan half a year forward with your spending.
balancing. It's all about B in bitbird is for balancing. Some of you wondered why we having specific products on different platforms. So like for example, bitbird radio once was on the Spotify, but then we needed to take it down, and then some of the remixes from some of our artists were not really provided officially, but through some Dropbox links or somehow else. People wondered what is the reason, and is it solely only the copyright issues, which I think the quick answer would be yes. But yeah, is there anything you want to elaborate on this?
So where do I start? Copyright on remix, podcast, radio.
Anything.
I'll just pick one. Yeah, they kicked us off Spotify with our radio episodes. And I think there was a sort of global thing going on, right? Where they had the music shows and they just been kicking off shows because they couldn't figure out, I guess, the monetization behind it. So that's a shame. I believe they have a new tool going on.
Yeah, but also besides that, there were a lot of people like pirating the music, sometimes not release music and then putting it out as a podcast because there was nothing happening around.
Right.
So it was one of the problems, I think, that they decided to just scrap it off completely.
Yeah, which is also a hard thing for them, of course. How are you going to, keep that in check? That's
exactly.
such a tough one. So I can kind of understand it. It's just a shame for us. We need to kind of pivot a bit how we do the radio shows, I guess, to get it back onto Spotify. Obviously, in the cases of remixes, for example, and I know that Throwback, for example, Dr. Dre remix by San Holo.
Oh, yeah.
Where can you find it? I think on YouTube, Trap Nation. They managed to keep it up there. It's just the case with any other remix that is not cleared. You cannot upload it to or distribute it to big streaming platforms, of course. So that's why we only have it on SoundClouds, etc.
Which always makes wonder that usually covers are allowed and much more accepted. Because so probably there are some legal reasons that remixes are changing the body of work, while covers is sort of like just the performance is different but the work is the same. So probably that is pretty much the reason why covers are accepted more, but technically it's also another interpretation of the song.
Yeah, I'm also curious about that. I wouldn't actually know legally what the difference is behind that.
No, me neither.
But yeah, covers. Although I don't really see San covering the next episode.
No. Well, you never know. You never know. His Snoop Dogg part could be fire.
Might be a very hidden talented rapper.
Let's talk about another big thing that we recently did, which was the final chapter of Drulu, Story of Two Boys. Drulu Anthology was out just recently. So a lot of years been spent on the whole body of work.
And I really have to say, beautiful project. All the new tracks they dropped on this album, Disco One, is there. Treasure Map makes me cry, man.
Really?
Yeah. I shed a tear to that song. Vinny, shout out to Vincent.
Yeah.
And Hein, of course, for the beautiful vinyl, for example.
Oh, wow. That's really special thing for sure.
Beautiful art, also online art gallery.
The virtual gallery, damn.
These lads, I swear, it's.
Yeah.
I'm curious where they're heading, because they're
splitting.
They're splitting.
Yeah.
And I'm very curious to see where that will bring them. both of them.
Yeah, for sure. Like it feels like they're now in a good space to actually. It's a perfect time for them that they were able to close the what they were working on together,
Yeah.
and it just makes totally logical sense now to move on for both of them. It just thus means that Druli is different, will be different,
Yeah.
and then Hein will probably show us some great art,
Exactly.
some visual stuff.
Exactly. That's the only thing I know, that they'll both will probably do amazing creative work
For sure.
wherever it takes them. So talented.
Why bitbird? Like we usually had so much troubles with first delivery of merch to Russia, then we are not having any more shows in Russia.
Russia.
While we still having a big community base there,
Yeah.
and
Shows in Russia. Moscow. 2018, 2017, I'm not sure. I think it was 2018.
no,
19?
no, it was way early. It was either 16 or 17.
We've been to Russia once with San. Did a show there. It was amazing. I've never seen a club. It was in a club. There was a swimming pool inside. The roof was glass. There were trees inside. It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever experienced. Plus, it was in Russia, Moscow. I looked outside of the club and there was this huge black ship in the river. It blew my mind. I absolutely loved it. Enjoyed it very much. Met some beautiful people. Drank some nice drinks. Really enjoyed the night. We were there for one day.
But
But that was also the last time. No, kidding. No, I would love to go back. Love to go back to Russia. It's just hard.
yeah, you actually
Honestly,
need to do a lot of
Yeah,
paperwork and bureaucracy in order to
that's
get
it.
to
That's
Russia.
also it. You need to be like really invited, you know.
Yeah, like
by-
promoter need to write out some probably stuff
Yeah.
for you to be able to go there.
Same thing kind of with selling merch, for example.
Yeah, because I think a big problem of it is again the import duties as well, because they're
Right.
trying to be really protective after all the political
It's
shebang
political,
happening.
yeah.
So yeah,
A lot of politics involved. Which I like, politics, but I love music way more.
well, I guess guys, it's about time to meet our guest.
Let's see. Yo! We hear something.
Look who we have here.
Who do we have here?
This is Duskus, Simon.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, you are. Nice.
That's me. How you doing?
Thanks for joining us today, Simon. This is the very first podcast that we're doing,
Yeah.
and we're super
Sweet.
excited to have you on it. The first bitbird releaser, and now the first
Awesome.
bitbird
Bitbird guest.
podcaster.
I'm stoked to be a part of the first podcast.
We're gonna
So
jump
we are.
into questions with you straight away.
Of course.
Sweet, let's do it.
All right. What's your name?
My name is Simon Alexander White.
Wow.
Where are you from?
I'm from a county called Surrey and a little small town called Farnham, basically that's south of London. But I'm currently living in central London.
Do you
Nice.
like it?
I love it. It's lockdown kind of sucks, so like everything's closed, but you know it opens up soon, and I'm excited to explore a bit more of London when it's better.
I think a lot of people watching this are very interested in your trajectory towards making music. Little Simon living in Surrey, how was that?
It was good. I was in junior school when my mum wanted to get me classical guitar lessons. And yeah, because a lot of my friends was also doing instruments like piano and things like that. And my mum was like, there's no one else in the family who does music. And my mum wanted to get me into like an instrument because she really liked guitar players and things like that. So yeah, I did classical guitar in like year 4 or something like that. Just from one of the school teachers, like schools had like their own little like teachers. And yeah, started off with guitar that's how it started.
Awesome. So, Simon, playing guitar back in the day, how did that evolve into something that got more electronic?
So after sort of like doing classical guitar for a while, I wasn't really into playing on a nylon string and playing these classical guitar songs and doing like in England you have like guitar grades, which is like a little exams. Um, but yeah, then I wanted to start learning like acoustic because I was like on YouTube and I was like listening to like people like Andy McKee and like John Gom and Sung Jung, and they're like all these like fingerstyle acoustic guitarists. So I just sort of like find the tabs online and learn those songs. And then from there I started sort of like writing my own little ideas on the guitar, which is I've sort of always done. And then like everyone else in like year 8 or something like that, I would have been about 13, 14, I'm not sure, or maybe older. Skrillex, deadmau5, all of that electronic scene. Dubstep was a word around the school. I was like, what is that? Dubstep. I thought dubstep was an artist originally.
That's crazy.
Everyone was like,
right?
have you heard dubstep? And I was like, I've never heard of him.
Wow. Don't you think it's crazy how, for like you mentioned, Skrillex, for example, how he pulled so many people into the electronic scene?
Yeah,
It's
like he
insane.
essentially like birthed that like EDM culture, I suppose.
Dubstep. Yeah, you're from the UK. Must have been huge.
I mean, well, it depends on the way you look at it, because there was like during that time there was a bit of controversy with it, wasn't there? Because there was like dubstep came out of the UK as a UK genre, and then Skrillex took a almost different sound and then called it dubstep, which is what people in the UK would have called bro step or something like that. But like if you like real like UK dubstep would have been like Screaming Benga and like more like meditation, like just wobs rather than drops, you know what I mean? I was actually originally first into Skrillex, and now I go back and listen to like UK stuff. But
So what do you prefer now?
I don't know. I still really love Skrillex because he does like a lot of. He doesn't just do dubstep. That's what like a lot of people only like him for his dubstep stuff, but I didn't really. I only ever listened to him for his melodic sections between the growly bits, because I just really loved like how he could make like an electronic song and it be melodic and not be on a guitar or something like that.
So going into producing then, Simon, like when did you figure out that was something you really wanted to do, like electronic music, or how did you stumble
Yeah.
upon your first software?
I think like my dad showed me GarageBand because
Oh,
he just
yeah.
got like a free demo on like the first iPad or something like that. So I was messing around with that for a bit, and then I'd just be on YouTube looking up how to. I literally typed in how to make music on a computer,
Hell yeah.
and then like there was this FL
old
Studio tutorial, and I basically like followed it step by step and just basically made a whole song in one piano roll with just one channel, and it just sounded ridiculous. But I just remember that crazy feeling of just being able to like write anything I wanted on a computer. But actually, before that, I think the first electronic music I made was actually probably even before that, because I think in school, like year 4, there was a software that came out called Dance EJ, which is like a really, really basic software. And I only used it a couple times, but this was before I got onto GarageBand and FL Studio. And it was like, it's basically, you can literally just drag loops into this thing and then you just build stuff and everything works and it goes in key and everything. And I remember like we had assembly like every Thursday or something like that, and like people could show their like songs and stuff, which was really cool.
So was it part of like music lesson or something? What?
Well, I think it was like just a general, I can't really remember, but I just remember like Dance EJ being introduced and people showing their songs in front of everyone. So that was it. But yeah, then I got onto FL Studio. From there, learned quite a bit about FL Studio. Always made melodic stuff. I really enjoyed that. And then I just went on like, I don't know, some forum, and I saw some guy comment like Ableton's better. And then I was like, damn, now I've got to change to Ableton, even though like it's not necessarily better at all. At the time I just didn't know. But I'm happy I am on Ableton. And then from there, I used Ableton for like 9 years now, I think. So yeah, that's it.
So while just working on the music and making it all different things, like, were you realizing at some point that your music is like ready to be more shown to the world, or you always try to first keep it not really showing like to friends and family, and that was it?
I think actually in the beginning I was like telling everyone like I'm a producer, and I just think I was like really cool. And then like I remember like a year later listening to those songs when I was going around telling everyone I was a producer. They were just absolute trash, like so bad. And then like I think just from me like wanting to like have, because I like, it's like sad to say almost, but it's like I started almost production just because of like the whole image thing, but then I realized I actually really enjoyed it, and then I actually completely stopped uploading music and stopped telling anyone about it and just made music for like a couple of years, and then at which point I probably would have sent like a demo to Bitbird later on once I like found a sound.
Which is so funny to me. So funny to me, Simon, because I remember it very well. You sent the first route. How would you say it? First route or route?
First route in the UK.
First route.
If you want.
So Duskus here. He sent over a demo to Bitbird when we weren't even
A label.
a label. We were just a SoundCloud page that uploaded some tracks of a project that was actually called Bitbird by Son. It was supposed to be an EP, right? And then you started sending demos that were so good that we had to release it, and then we became a label. So, I guess I have to say thank you to you.
Yeah,
that's all right.
For making this a whole snowball effect. That's amazing, man. But
yeah, man.
Like, what got into you for sending that demo? Like,
why did you decide?
I think exactly what happened was there was a SoundCloud page called Chill Trap.
Yeah.
Right. And at the time, before like I was making that like the first future bass, or people used to call it love trap or whatever, I was making like melodic dubstep because I just liked melodic stuff, but I didn't necessarily like the growls and like the wobs. So I just wanted the melodic side. So I'd be making like saw waves with dubstep drums and whatever. And then at some point, I learned how to like sidechain, and then I just went crazy on that and changed the drums to more trappy drums. And from there I put like the first route demo up on SoundCloud. It's just like a minute long demo. And then I think Chill Trap, which is like, you know, like they're like one of the first SoundCloud pages that were like reposting like love trap, they used to call it, or like Chill Trap, which then became Future Bass. But yeah, I put the demo up, Chill Trap reposted it. I'm pretty sure San was following Chill Trap. And then he like saw the first route and then commented on it. I can't remember exactly what he said. The comment is still there. So if you go to my SoundCloud, scroll down ages, and you'll find the first route demo. I clicked on his profile. He had like in his description, or maybe it was just on his page, because he had like you said, it was an EP, like level 1, level 2, but it also had like a submit demo section, and I thought, oh, this guy likes it, San. I really love his music. Like he had like 2,000 followers at the time, and I was like, damn, this guy's massive.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And then I was like, damn, this guy is huge. Just comment on my post. I'm gonna send. And then I saw like the Bitbird logo, and I was like, holy shit, that looks so cool. Like, I really want to be a part of this. I have no idea what it is.
That's so funny.
But like, that logo looks sick. And then the
Great.
2 tracks that are on there that were like San's EP was sick. And then I was like, damn, I'm just gonna send this track he's commented on to Bitbird. And then you guys got back like the next day or something, I'm pretty sure.
We were like, whoa, we got a message. Somebody actually sent a track. That is great. That is actually great. So we're gonna need to do something with this. Yeah, it's funny.
Was actually the first demo you guys received?
Probably maybe not the first demo, but the first serious one. You know, like that was the first actual track that we got. That also really
so crazy.
resonated with what we were doing at the time.
Crazy to think about.
So that definitely did something to us, and then we started to look at everything that we did in a way different light. So yeah, it was a lot of fun
Yeah.
releasing that
Yeah.
one.
It was such a cool.
I remember also all the artworks back then were just like pixelated colors.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
funny.
But they were sick artworks as well, and it still
Yeah.
had the little bitbird logo at the bottom, and I was
Yeah.
like, so original. It's so cool.
Amazing SoundCloud times though.
I mean, yeah, you can't argue SoundCloud was one of the best eras, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true that. I miss it. Do you?
Yeah, I miss that sense of community that you don't get from Spotify or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like that really, in that time, because of the way how like tight knit everything was, and it was a social thing almost. It birthed so many styles, and it really like, you know, music was like rapidly changing and like things like that. But you don't see that as much now because of like, you know, it's not about SoundCloud anymore. It's about a less social DSP or whatever.
Yeah, I guess that's really it. The lack of a commenting section in all these music platforms is just, it's kind of killing not really killing the sharing part of it, but just like you said, the community part around music. It's so beautiful because we're all looking for something, you know?
Yeah.
We're all looking for something we're not quite sure of what it is, and usually you find it when talking to other people.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's so important. I think something needs to come back. We need another community, just for like without that community, for me, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. I'm sure for the same of you guys, you know. And it's so important for like smaller people to be able to like hang out and share music really easily like that.
So, but Simon, when did you go from creating music for fun to it becoming something more that you actually built your life around?
I suppose like, well, I studied like music in college, and then I went to university and studied music as well. And during that time in university, I put out the Cute EP, and I suppose like when that EP came out and I sort of saw the numbers and I saw like, damn, there's a bit more, there's some consistency now in like releasing. I could sort of see like, oh, when I come out of uni, maybe I could actually do this full time, or at least like, you know, just because I like really enjoyed it, and I just wanted to like come out of uni and just see if I could just. I'd always tell everyone I just want to do music. I don't want to work a job. I just want to like sit in my studio or even on anywhere with my laptop with my headphones and just make music. And I suppose like after that EP, and I finished uni, I moved to Manchester, and then from there I could see like I can live off this now, and it's a lot more serious. Did some tours. I suppose like the tours were the real mark point where I was like, this is serious now.
Makes sense because it's the most tangible thing, probably.
For sure.
Seeing people enjoying that.
It feels so much more real than it does sitting behind your laptop screen and looking at numbers. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But yeah.
When was your first show? What was your first show?
I did a few in London when I was at uni. Not really, like I put on my own shows around London. We did one with DJ Mag and just a lot of small. We did about 10 little tiny events. And it was mainly just me, bunch of friends, and a couple of people would come. You know, and then I suppose the first international one would have been the first Bitbird, Goldie and Finch compilation one in Zoetermeer.
I remember it very well. We're actually sitting there right now.
Yeah, we're shooting.
Oh, you're in that space. Nice.
We're actually sitting in that space.
Wicked.
We had a little show planned around the Goldie and Finch compilation, indeed.
Yeah.
And that was the first time that we just invited people to play a DJ set at our hometown studio, which is totally in the middle of nowhere, basically.
But that was what was so cool about it, right?
That was actually indeed what made it amazing. Also, it was quite crowded, and people loved seeing you. It was a lot of fun. We were very humbled to have you over here. Actually, it was very interesting.
Yeah, I feel like my flight was delayed, or I got there
I
like
know, I know. Yeah, you were
late.
hella late.
And then like I just remember like it was live streamed, and I just remember like my mum texting me like, I can see you, and I'm just like running onto the stage, or like running into, not the stage, but you know,
So
in front of the
funny.
table.
Booth on the floor, fans right in front of you. A live stream that I tried to do with my phone data, resetting it constantly. It was a beautiful mess that night. I loved it so much,
I
man.
love it. I love
Yeah.
it.
It's so funny to see how those low-key kind of made events are leaving such a big memories.
Yeah, huge impression. Usually the smallest shows leave the biggest impression for some
Yeah,
reason.
yeah,
I guess
yeah,
they're
yeah,
most
100%.
intimate.
Yeah, those are like for me like those first couple are like the most, you know, that show in particular is probably one of the most special shows.
How do you experience the touring level that you're on right now? So you have way bigger tours, they last way longer. Probably you're on the road for at least a month.
Yeah,
We've been
yeah,
touring together. Like you spend time in a bus with all these other people. You have no privacy at all.
yeah.
How have you been experiencing those kind of things?
I love it. I thought it was absolutely mind blowing, to be honest. Like, I just thought it was such an incredible experience. I love touring. I love being able to like share a bus with other musicians, and then for us to just, you know, go out, play a show, hang out, eat some food.
Would you be able to like continuously being in this kind of state in your life, or is just like, I don't know, 1 month a year it's enough for you? Like, would you be living this kind of life?
I think I definitely would. Like, I feel like I need a month off a year, but like, I'm kind of like very spontaneous in my life anyway, doing random things. So for that, I feel like it would fit me well. Like to be able to, I never like necessarily want to go home after a tour. Like I just love visiting different places, meeting random people, and also it's very inspiring. I weirdly make quite a lot of music when I'm on tour. So
How did COVID spoil your touring plans for this year? Like, did you?
so yeah, I had like a support tour with Slow Magic, um, and then yeah, so that got cancelled. I also had like 4 headline shows to announce, which got cancelled, and then there was also 2 festivals. So yeah, I basically got rid of my room in Manchester, because I was like, I'm going on tour. I don't want to spend money. I don't want to pay rent while I'm on tour. I'm going to be probably going for quite a while, sort of thing. After my tour was cancelled, I stayed with my parents for like 3 or 4 months, which was really nice. But yeah, I didn't really know any music people in Surrey, where I'm from. So I was kind of just getting like, yeah, I just wanted to like be around some people that were like doing what I was doing.
Mhm.
And obviously I was like, it was COVID, so I was in my room all the time, and the only people I would see were like people who would talk about something completely different, and all I want to talk about is like music stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to like move out somewhere, and I was kind of thinking for a while, and one of my friends hit me up who's like a songwriter. Was like, do you want to move to London? We're looking for a place. We've got a bunch of other musicians as well who are like going through the same sort of thing. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And we found a place like in the Isle of Dogs, which is like it's pretty much central London. It's not too far. Zone 2. We've all moved in, and there's about 4 of us here, and we all sort of do different things in music, which is really nice. So we have like Paul, who's a singer-songwriter, and he's got an amazing voice. So we've already worked together quite a lot, just using his voice and recording it. And then we have Finn, who's also like a singer-songwriter, more of a songwriter, and then Will, who essentially just has loads and loads of gear, like really cool synths and drum machines and loads of stuff, which is really cool because we can all sort of share things musically. I've already got a few of his things in here now. He doesn't mind me sort of taking them when I need, and it's really nice that we can like sort of just work together. Like it's not like when we work together, there's no like oh, we have to do music or anything. It's just so fluid. Like we just sort of all walk into a room accidentally, and then we just all start making music together. It's really nice, which is something I was really looking for, because now I feel like I'm much more motivated again. You know.
Can you tell us a little bit of what you've been working on lately? Obviously, you dropped an EP with us recently, Rising.
Yeah. So yeah, I think during the Rising time, I was definitely experimenting more with just sound design, and you know, the sound of things, maybe more than the writing. And I think now, like the original days of what Duskus really is to me, is purely the writing. So I've gone back to that a lot now. So really simple sounds, not overthinking. I literally use just like saw waves with a low pass, and I'll write a whole progression and a melody, or even just on a piano or something like that, or a guitar. And then yeah, I've just been making quite a few of those. I've been working with the Nicholas, who's been sending me little bits from his little Tascam Porter studio, which is like a little cassette deck. He sends me these little lo-fi thingies. And I've been sort of writing things under that, and then I've sent him a few ideas for him to like write some really simple vocals on. And yeah, I've mainly just been like writing really simple chord progressions that I think is really like the core of Duskus to me. It's just about the chords and the melody. And from there, I'll sort of see what sort of like if I can sing on it, or if I can get someone else to come up with like a little like vocal thingy, and then I'll maybe like make the sounds a little cooler. But yeah, I think my main workflow now, what I've been working on, is just simplicity again, and yeah, the core of Duskus. Yeah,
you recorded some things as well that we're still releasing, which also a music video.
Yep. Yeah.
Which you made with a other friend of yours that's also very creative.
Yes. Yeah. So I did a music video for Rising, which is soon to come out, I think, with one of my buddies, Justin, who's he does a lot of things, but directing music videos. I'm also doing a set, like a hour-long set, which I haven't got a date for yet. I'm still working that out with you guys. Which is called Infinity Set, which is just going to be loads of like nostalgic Duskus tunes that may have never made it, or you know what I mean. Which is filmed by Mel, my girlfriend, who's also my photographer, helps me with all my social media, takes all my pictures. She does really cool. She's got really cool aesthetic, and we come up with little mood boards together and create things. And we came up with the Infinity Set, which is like an all-white set, and I'm thinking about doing it on New Year's, potentially, to sort of mark a new era. But yeah, there's a few things to come.
Awesome.
For sure.
Maybe we can actually take a little look at the music video right now.
Yeah, a small sneak peek.
Yeah, go for it.
Let's do it.
Street lights and red lights, been counting them along the way. Motions divided and going off in separate ways. So long, wait for better days. Hold on, can't wait to tear away. And I've been rising even though you shot me down. And I've been rising even when you let me down. And I've been streetlights and
Beautiful video.
Yeah, I didn't expect that actually.
I'm glad you guys like it.
Actually, really sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, Justin came up with the concept, the idea. It took a while to get finished. One-man army, just Justin. We had a couple other people here and there, and then Mel, who was also helping out. But yeah, glad you guys like it.
Simon, what's next for the Duskus project?
I think next, I've got a couple of remixes coming out this year to finish and round off the year. But I think next year is, like I said, I want to re-represent the core of Duskus. I'm really liking sort of lo-fi and broken sounds, and I just want to combine. I want to release like singles, a lot of singles next year, that are like full projects, that sort of really represent what Duskus is, without having to be too complex. I think like I said, simplicity in the music, simplicity in the visuals, simplicity in the brand, singles and just Duskus really.
Just how we like it. Do you have any messages for us? Anything you want to say, plug, or tell the viewers?
I just want to say thank you to everyone who supports my music, and I hope you guys are surviving this horrible pandemic, and that you are talking to your friends and, you know, staying sane and going out for walks, and, you know, keep your head up, don't beat yourself down, and you'll be good.
Thank you so much, dude.
Yeah, thank you for joining.
Cool. No worries, guys. Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed it.
Can't wait to see you in the tour bus.
I can't wait for that either. One day that will happen, I'm sure. Cool, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And that was it for our talk with Duskus for today. And we really appreciate your support and your attention during the whole process of us making this podcast, and of course with you watching it, as well as we do appreciate your opinion and further questions that you may have about bitbird, or maybe about certain acts, or maybe of our next guest. So as always, just leave all the questions you have down in the comments, and those who would put the best or the most interesting question out there, we'll pick 2 comments that will have a chance to win those beautiful mugs with bitbird logo, with iconic bitbird logo on it. And yeah, are we gonna wash them?
Yeah, I'll wash it. I'll do it.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, sure.
cool, sounds good.
Awesome. I enjoyed it a lot. It's awkward to do this. It's fun to do
Super
this.
awkward.
We have to get used to it a little bit. We hope you enjoyed it as well.
And then just do it in the radio voice. Thank you guys for listening, and goodbye. Subscribe, give a like.
Yeah? I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's just it.
You can just cut